KBLA Talk 1580 is about to celebrate its second anniversary on Juneteenth, and no terrible twos around here. We couldn't be more excited about all the good news we'll be announcing soon, including the launch of some new shows to keep giving you more of what you've been looking for.
Come on!
Smart radio for smart people. Hey, it's our celebration, but you get all the gifts. We'll be giving away fresh merch, swag bags, and a chance for you to join the private invitation-only, star-studded music and dance till you drop, food and drink galore second anniversary celebration. To stay in the know about the second anniversary details, download the KBLA Talk 1580 app right now. Don't miss out on your chance to be a winner. At KBLA Talk 1580, when we come forward, we're bringing everybody with us.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes? Financial infidelity? I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Doing it right now, getting away with it, but you know what I'm saying? It's gonna get you. Where all the people's at? Where all them big time drug dealers? You know, you got to have
So many MCs focusing on black people extermination. We keep it balanced with that knowledge of self-determination. It's hot, we be blowing the spots with conversations. Come on, let's smooth it out like Soul Sensation. We in the house like Japanese in Japan or Koreans in Korea. Had to Philly and free Maria with the Kuji Chagalia. True, singing and swinging and writing is fighting, but what they writing got us clashing like titans. It's not exciting, no question. Being a black man is demanding. The fire's in my eyes and the flames need fanning. The fire's in my eyes and the flames need fanning. The fire's in my eyes and the flames need fanning. With that what? Determination. With that what? Determination. With that what? Determination. With that what? Determination.
Let me ask you a question. What would happen to you in your life if you stopped trying to control things as much? That you did everything you could to succeed, to achieve your goals, to take action, but you let go of the attachments of things happening the way that you believe they're supposed to happen. In fact, how can you give yourself love? How can you connect more with yourself? And for me, there's been many different ways. Number one, what about just spending time with yourself? If you're in a relationship, how do you let someone know that you love them? You're gonna spend time with them. Well, how often do you spend time with yourself? A study that was done at the University of California years ago, and they took people that were severely depressed, clinically depressed. A lot of them were on antidepressants. They didn't exercise for 20 minutes a day. They did one thing, well, two things really. They smiled, okay, but a big grin on their face, and they looked up. And they just did that for 20 minutes a day. Now, the results of this were pretty extraordinary. Just by having people smile and look up, what they found was they weren't able to be depressed. You know, in fact, you could try it right now. If you put a big smile on your face and look up, and try to get depressed. I bet you can't do it. Try to be angry, try to be frustrated. You can't, because biochemically, when you do that, when you smile and you look up, your brain releases different chemicals. When you're always trying to control life and believing that life has to be a certain way, this has to happen or this shouldn't happen, and then oftentimes what happens is people, they're always stressed out, they always have anxiety, they're always living in fear, they're always suffering on some level because life is totally uncertain, life is unknown. And so what they found by doing this with the group of people that they did this for is that they were not only able to overcome the depression, but a lot of them were off antidepressants and had a long-term effect on them as well. And it was just so powerful that they were able to accomplish this just by doing that every day. A lot of them habitually changed the way they used their facial expressions because Typically, right now, we have a habitual way of using our body. We've all heard the expression that emotion is created by motion, and that the more that you move and use your body, it biochemically affects how you feel. My challenge for you is to build a better relationship with you, is to spend more time with you and change your perception about how you're spending that time, and to give more to yourself. And whatever that might mean for you, because we all have different rules of what it takes for us to feel connected, to feel fulfilled, to feel in love. And based on your beliefs about what that's gonna take for you, you've got to make sure that you set yourself up to win, and you give to yourself in ways that you're gonna be filled up and never feel that feeling of being alone or disconnected. Take that time for yourself and change that perception and create that relationship, cultivate it, because that's the ultimate relationship of all. That's the most important one that you have. And you gotta treasure it, you gotta nurture it every single day, because relationships do take work, and you gotta make sure that you build it and it's always growing for you.
All of us are flawed. All of us are works in progress. I'm not gonna listen to no relationship specialist that ain't married or that ain't in a happy, well-adjusted. Every relationship comes with its own set of issues and challenges. Every person comes with their own set of challenges and issues. And if you, like the brother said in the video, if you can't even look up at your inner self and smile. Most of you are looking down at your inner self and frowning. Andy got something to say. Andy can't wait. Get in here, Andy.
Just listening to that clip and watching the guy speak, it reminded me of this video that I saw on YouTube, where it was basically a water experiment. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes,
before.
Dr. Emoto.
Yeah, so he had two water jugs or whatnot, and with one of them he would speak a lot of positive stuff, and then the other one would speak a lot of negative stuff, and he would look at the water under some microscope, and the
crystals would change.
The crystals would change.
Yes.
It would look beautiful. And the other one where he was like speaking negative to, the water just looked like it was about to just
they were deformed.
They were deformed or whatnot. So
now
I think
it is, because that's a big point, Andy. In this book, I talk about Dr. Emoto's work, Messages in the Water, and I said, consider that the human being is 75 to 85% water himself.
Mm-hmm.
Negative self-talk is a negative prayer. So how do you cleanse the water in your body?
Gotta speak positive.
Meditation, prayer, positive self-talk. If there's no self-embracing, I'm just saying, if there's no self-embracing, there's going to be a lot of demands and blaming for your partner. There's going to be a lot of controlling behaviors that you're going to cultivate in order to have the upper hand in the relationship. Back to Carl Jung's famous quote, and then I'm going to grab Nazarene X. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. It highlights the idea that our reactions to other people can be revealed or can reveal something about our inner world. This can have a positive effect on our ability to be fully present in our relationships in several ways. Again, there's that word again, self-awareness. Increased self-awareness, which when we recognize that our irritations with others may be reflecting something about ourselves, we become more aware of our emotions, thoughts, and patterns and behaviors. This can help us to become more mindful or present in our relationship. Listen, it's easy to read, but it's a struggle to be these things, even for me. Do you understand? There is no authority for your experience except you. Somebody on the outside cannot be the authority of your experience.
And if you tell the truth, you know everybody you meet have moments where they even struggle with the highest principles. And these sound beautiful, right? Listen, recognizing, right, this self-awareness, this can help us to become more mindful and present in our relationships and to develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and our partners. We could cultivate greater empathy by recognizing that everything that irritates us is a reflection of who we are. Get it? Everything that irritates us about somebody else is a reflection of who we are. Yes, if we understand that, we can develop a greater empathy. But empathy is not worth this salt until you empathize with self. Because if you're empathizing with someone else and you haven't empathized with yourself, you open up the door for the silent contracts to slip in. The silent contract of, I hope they appreciate what I did. I hope they acknowledge me for helping them, because had I not come along. So empathy towards others is moot when there's no self-empathy, right? When we see our irritations with others as an opportunity for self-reflection, we are more likely to approach our relationships with greater empathy and understanding. This can help us to be more patient and compassionate with our partners. Ah, man, listen. I hate reading it, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I hate reading it. Because it frustrates me. Because no one is ready to be superhuman. Everybody wants to be, you talk about mediocre, everybody want to be mediocre. Everybody is a spiritual C running around this piece. Did you see what I just read? I want to read it again before I go to this next. I got to read this one more time, just so you can understand the power behind what's being said. When you recognize that everything that irritates us about others can lead to an understanding of ourselves, right? You can develop or cultivate a greater empathy. I said it has to be self-empathy first. It can't just be empathy for others. It has to be empathy for self first. Most people have a difficult time empathizing with self because they spend most of their time judging themselves. So watch. When we see our irritations with others as an opportunity for self-reflection, we are more likely to approach our relationships with greater empathy and understanding. This can help us to be more patient and compassionate with our partners and to navigate conflicts and challenges with greater skill and grace. All right, peep. Let them hurt you. Let them hurt you. And let's see how well you do. Just because you stayed doesn't mean you really forgave. Ooh. Just because you stayed doesn't mean you should. Doesn't mean you should have stayed. Okay, let's go another direction. Because I want you to keep that thought in mind. May God break my heart so completely the world falls in. That's Mother Teresa. Do I need to go to Rumi? Rumi said you gotta keep breaking your heart over and over. We live in a society that says, once I perceive you hurt me, you're done. You're disposable. Anything we went through is easy for me to wash my hands of because it wasn't meaningful anyway. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I got people online. I got to get them all because I'm cooking right now and I'm on fire. Okay, when we come forward, I'm going back to Nazarene X because I'm turned up right now.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Fantasia. With special guest Joe, Friday, May 26th at Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles, and Saturday, May 27th at Toyota Arena in Ontario. Fantasia, live in concert. Tickets on sale now at fantasiaofficial.com. Don't miss Fantasia with special guest Joe.
Have you faced discrimination in Los Angeles? The City of LA Civil Rights Department can help. They investigate private sector discrimination in LA City in commerce, education, employment, and housing. If you're facing discrimination, submit a complaint online for free at laisforeveryone.com. That's laisforeveryone.com or call 213-978-1845.
All I need is one mic.
For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Ariva Martin with a KBLA editorial. Things are not always what they appear to be. A fundamental principle of our justice system is fairness. And fairness demands accurate and honest testimony, especially when that testimony is proffered from the U.S. government with its infinite resources and power. Accurate, honest, factual testimony appears to have been a no-show in the federal bribery trial of Mark Ridley Thomas. I followed every aspect of this case closely, and from day one, I've said the government's case was based on innuendo, speculation, and misinformation. With the latest developments, I guess I should reframe the misinformation to disinformation. The recent post-trial motions filed by Ridley Thomas's legal team revealed 3 false statements made by the prosecutor's star witness. Those documents also show that contrary to the government's claim and representations by some in the mainstream media, there was never an $8 million contract at issue, and Ridley Thomas received no benefit, monetary or otherwise, that would satisfy the elements of the crimes for which he was prosecuted and convicted. Our jury system sometimes gets it wrong, and when it does, it's up to the courts to right those wrongs, especially when a jury has been misled by a witness propped up by the prosecution. In a case of egregious misdirection like this one, it's up to the federal prosecutors to acknowledge their errors and for the media to do the same. After all, our judicial system is not based on winning at all costs, but on principles of fundamental fairness, truth, and justice. Principles that were apparently denied to Mark Ridley Thomas. For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Ariva Martin, and we welcome your comments.
You want some more? It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hold yourself, open your eyes, get wise to the exercise being taught by the teacher that's most dominant. You need knowledge? Well, I'm dropping it. Listen to the rap, allow it to trap your body and soul so that you can adapt to the man on display as I take you away. So may I? Yes, you may. Proud to be a black man, coming exact and giving up brothers 5 on the backhand. Great beliefs and peace upon each other with my sisters and brothers. Yo, word to the mother. I say the mother as in the motherland, but on the other hand, another man tackled and shackled our ancestors, but we beat them with freedom. So let's bless the country that we all came from, because the moral of it all is we shall overcome. The cream will keep rising, we be sizing up. The Asiatic one is enterprising, building to carry on, all the way from Malcolm X to Farrakhan. Martin Luther was a tutor, many were pupils. Those who fell victim were those without scruples. However, to sever we could never, so hold up the peace sign and stand together. Take heed to the words that I manifest, so when I'm through speaking, Marley Marley do the rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Voice of Reason. Man, we so on fire tonight it don't even make sense. Tonight's topic, man. very heavy. You already know my playlist is my co-host. Just because he's rapping don't mean he's not in sync with what we talking about. That was Big Daddy Kane, Word to the Mother, and he was talking about knowledge of self. There's no knowledge of self, there's no love. There's no love, there's no empathy. There's no empathy, there's no compassion. There's no compassion, there's no understanding. There's no understanding, there's no willingness. There's no willingness, there's no relationship. Do you understand? Whew. Heavy stuff, y'all. Heavy stuff. Listen, phone lines, let's get them in here. I know I've been on one tonight, but let's get them in here. Nazarene X, Atlanta, Georgia. Jump in.
What's up, huh?
What up, brother?
Ain't too much, bro. I'm just over here.
What happened?
Open it up, man.
What did I do?
Man, look, you over here just, it's like you have the ability to open up the veil before people's eyes. Sometimes I think when you rip it open and people ain't really ready to see what's on that other side, they get clammed up, they're scared, but they can't deny it though. Like that veil can't be unrun. But that's what we need, and I appreciate you.
Hey, man.
I deeply appreciate
it. Ain't nothing but love, brother. It ain't nothing but love. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, fam?
Man, really, I just think we need to stop being scared. I believe the last thing that God wants to see at Heaven's Gate is a coward. That's how I feel. So from this side of earth, I believe being honest with self is hard, but if we've been chasing the easy route all this time, it's the definition of insanity if we just keep on repeating it thinking we're going to get different results at the end of the day. So it's about time we do the hard things if we want something different. It's like if we want to see a change, we got to be a change.
So let me hit you with this. Wait, because you just opened up a can of whoop. You just opened it up, man. Listen, if a man, watch this. If your woman is turned off by your cowardice moment, is that a reflection of you being turned off by having moments of cowardice?
I would definitely say so.
So
sometimes I believe.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Huh?
No, I'm saying this.
Sure.
I'm saying this to say most men are a facade, a mask.
Right.
So you uncomfortable with a cowardly moment within yourself. So you take that energy to the relationship, and when you commit some type of infraction against the relationship and it's time for you to own it, she may be turned off by your cowardice when you finally acknowledge it. What are your thoughts?
Man, because in my observation and experience, even with the so-called passerbys in life, I believe by nature, a woman's position is to help reveal what we really need to do. Like, it's almost, in some instances, you'll hear our women test men a lot. And sometimes it's, just again by nature where a woman's positionality is almost, whether consciously or unconsciously, they bring before the man that they choosing an opportunity to show up. And that's simply all that they want to be able to recognize. And when they don't recognize that, that forthcomingness about you, if you're not penetrating her world in that sense on whatever level, then you don't look like a man or the man that you say that you are or the man that you might be claiming to be. But I think it's also maybe tied to how fellas might fall into, I guess, what's known these days as the whole imposter syndrome in a way, where it come back down to that mask, like, behind the scenes, it's like.
But say it, Nazarene. Wait, you just said it. If you're not loving yourself, you're probably participating in imposter syndrome. Go ahead, say it.
it's that self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, I'm thinking like a lot of ways, and again, it's not just for men to do, but I carry the weight on that. It's just like, if you have all of this tenacity, like whether it's to go out and so-called provide for yourself, like everything is external. And I think that's just, we getting wrapped up in the society, right? But we have all of this energy to so-called go up and like charge against the next brother that step on our shoes or something like that. It's all this fire in us. But when it comes time for us to apply that same energy to what is inside of us, still holding us back, we turn to little kitty cats for real. Well, that's kind of what it is. It's like there seems to be some kind of larger, more powerful force at work. But I think when we just simply allow for it to be so and remain convicted, in essence, maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe men and women in general, we've lost the art of moving with conviction, like that confidence. And that's not something that you should put in the hands of someone else to, like, dictate over your life. Because, again, then you just end up being a puppet. You're easily moved around and you're still just being used and not really moving in tune with who you truly are. Because puppets, outside of the whole Pinocchio type story, like, that's a soulless entity or whatever. Somebody else has to breathe life into that and be using it. But again, that part has already been done. So I think it's just maybe just cutting out a lot of that noise and being willing to stand in that gap within ourselves. Like, if we can scream at somebody, scream at what's bothering us. Or if we can be quiet to keep our job, then be quiet to receive the lesson that can help us. Because again, it's all balanced, but how you say what we resist persists.
That's Carl Jung.
So
what we resist persists. That's Carl Jung. Yeah.
So again, that's the flow state era and or that flow state mode, being like water, all of those things really, really hold a lot of room for revelation and growth as far as I've seen it. And one thing that I've realized, especially in my interactions with people, it does work like that mirror, because one thing that tends to irritate me, even at the so-called people at large, is like the echoing of self-condemnation. But I believe that just like how earlier you were saying, like how even with your book, your most powerful work to date so far, in that sense, if you're not taking away from anything done, but that's right, Lighthouse, everybody, please go pick that up. But it's tied into what you dropped with the relationship bit, because I've been tapped in that sense, but applying these things.
Wait, Nazarene, just hold tight. We got to come forward, but I want you to come back and finish your thought. Man, Nazarene is on fire tonight. We cooking. How do I repair my relationship with myself is what we talking about.
Yo, Big Daddy, what you gonna say now?
Take a stand, the fight for power. Cause we've been here before the Mayflower. Living superior, abiding by nature. The history of the Asiatic one paid the price to be paid in slavery. Like the name of Antonio was gave to me.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton, and here's the latest on the Black Information Network. President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden will welcome the Louisiana State University women's basketball team and University of Connecticut men's basketball team to the White House later this month. The May 26th visit comes after the teams won their respective championships. The White House is warning of the economic impacts if the U.S. defaults on its debt. Black Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre argued a default in early June could result in the loss of up to 8 million jobs and trigger a recession. Her comments come as President Biden is set to meet with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and other congressional leaders on the debt ceiling. She accused Republicans of, quote, manufacturing a crisis to try and secure deep spending cuts. Congress needs to raise the nation's borrowing limit before the start of June. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
When your ride fires on all cylinders, so do you. That's why Napa is on a mission to keep you in motion. With nearly 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores and over 17,000 Napa Auto Care centers, the Napa Network has everything you need to get up and go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of America.
The story of Emmett Till and his mother is a story of a family's promise and loss and a nation's reckoning with hate, violence, and abuse of power. It's a story that was seared into our memory and our conscience, the nation's conscience, when Mrs. Till insisted that an open casket for her murdered and maimed 14-year-old son. She said, "Let the people see what I've seen." The reason the world saw what she saw was because of another hero in this story, the black press. Jet Magazine, the Chicago Defender, and other black radio and newspapers were unflinching and brave in making sure America saw what she saw. Ida B. Wells once said, and I quote, "The way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon the wrongs."
Turning the light of truth upon the wrongs. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
Women, a career in wildland firefighting can be that career, one that has purpose, meaning, and strong pay. If you are a young adult who hasn't turned 26 or a U.S. military veteran under 30, then you can get paid to train as a wildland firefighter in the California Conservation Corps. Through just 1 year in the CCC, you can earn the hands-on experience and the industry-recognized certifications needed to start your career as a wildland firefighter. The CCC is the state of California government department that partners with CAL FIRE and federal agencies. They can be your direct path to a wildland firefighting career. You have to be in shape, ready for both the physical and mental challenge, which you know you can do. Firefighting is not a man's job, it's your job, your career. Get paid while you train. Transform your life. Enroll in the CCC today at ccc.ca.gov. ccc.ca.gov. Congratulations to Pristine Pipeline, LLC, for being this week's winner of KBLA's Office of the Week. Your office won lunch for 10, delivered by the original Taco Pete. Congratulations to Pristine Pipeline, LLC.
Meet Joe A, Hi. Joe B, Hello. And Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically black university. Congratulations, South LA, and congratulations to the Dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Protho-Stith. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. That's cdrewu.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid. And we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Joe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Here's a little story that must be told. From beginning to end. Here's a little story that must be told. From beginning to end.
I got so much trouble on my mind, so I take time out my day to pray, and I say, now lay me down to sleep, hoping that I keep my soul deep. I'm getting old, this a cold, cold world, and I ain't even got a bomber. Living with my mama, it's the same routine. Keep my room clean, I'm looking to do some new things, but ain't this you do? I'm 22 cats in the prime of my life. I have no time for a wife. I funnel through the tunnel, disgruntled, trying to find me some light. In the rim of darkness, I too sing. I may not be the darkest brother, but I was always told to act my age, not my color. Not knowing that my color.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Young Common. When was the last time you heard Young Common? The name of the record is called Book of Life. Man, there's so much power in relating to oneself, right? So much power. And tonight we've been covering it ad nauseum. We've been talking about our inner demons. We've been talking about Jiddu Krishnamurti, Carl Jung. We've been talking about everybody tonight because I want you guys to have a full understanding that relationship competency comes from self-conquering. And once you've conquered your demons, you can now pour empathy and love and appreciation and compassion. You can have gratitude for the things you are, and you can take attention away from the things you're not. You know, you can create space for yourself. You can't create space in your relationship if you haven't created space for yourself. It goes hand in hand. It's heavy stuff. But this, to me, what we're talking about tonight, this is the real relationship currency. Speaking of that, The Situation Shift, my new television show, it will premiere this month, May 22nd, on Our TV. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Yeah, I want you guys to download the Our TV app and check for your local listings and the time. My talk show, my relationship talk show, The Situation Shift, it's going to be on fire. Oh, speaking of that, if you want to see the episode before it premieres on television, if you're in the LA area, May 20th, at my local cigar spot, they're doing a premiere. We're doing a relationship roundtable, me and Tony Massey and others. And then we will air or premiere episode 1 of The Situation Shift starring Zoe Williams. It's going to be on fire. All right, let's get Nazarene X back in here. Nazarene, wrap your thoughts, brother.
Got you, man. Well, again, going back to the relationship dismount, right? How to stick the landing when exiting the toxic relationship. Again, these relationships aren't just the ones we have with other people. It's about ourselves, too. And when you pick up that book, you'll run into different chapters of that really kind of stuck out and really resonate with me, with like about self-forgiveness aspect. Because that's where you pretty much got to sit back and invite that hurt in like a guest in your home. Mm-hmm. Like allow it to happen and take that time. You know, don't fight it at the door type of thing. And then the cocoon piece, allow yourself to experience that internal metamorphosis. And maybe again locking into the fact that you know you're becoming something greater. You know this isn't the end for you. And even in time, I believe just practicing stillness and just awareness in that sense. It's like that active meditation. If you kind of focus in on meditation, again, like on some tools that have helped me, just learning how to observe, how you say it, without judgment. Just remain aware and focus on gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And I believe that in terms of the internal demons, the struggles, shortcomings, and all of these different things that are kind of holding us back or plaguing our thoughts and our mind, I personally believe that simply by focusing on love, It's like we don't have to fight against an entity and an energy that by default is conquered, is destroyed, is rendered powerless by love. So remain love. That puts you in a position where any enemy that you so-called face is already destroyed. So you don't have to consume your thoughts with that type of energy. Again, just continue to focus upon learning, self, discovery, tapping into joy, just those type of things. But again, let's make way for the next call. Thank you so much for this. I'm going to remain tapped in, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate the call. Atlanta, Georgia in the building because of Nazarene X. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the protocol. All you have to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let's jump over to Houston, Texas. Atala, Houston, Texas is in the building. Get in here.
What's going on, Joe?
What up? I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. You know, enjoying the night air.
Yeah?
It's cool.
What do you think of tonight's topic? Will you have any thoughts? What's on your mind?
So, when I tell you this topic is so on point, it's so on time. Like, it just kind of hit me square between the eyes. I'll just say it. I had some things I kind of thought about as you were speaking, especially in regard to making room for your partner. Mm-hmm. That's the area that I kind of struggle in because I don't mind making room for myself. I'm quite comfortable being by myself, enjoying my own company. But I feel like it's hard for me to bring someone else in who may have like different opinions or opinions that kind of poke at some of my triggers, so to speak.
So
they're not wrong.
Can I ask this question? Do you enjoy your own company in the presence of your demons?
Ooh. I'm learning to.
So again, I'm making the distinction. When people say, yes, I enjoy myself, I enjoy my own company. Yeah, so long as the demons aren't there, it's cool. So long as the shadow isn't there, it's great. Yeah, I'm by myself in my space. I'm enjoying it. But when the others show up and they need your attention because you have yet to acknowledge them without judgment, how's your company then? How's your company with yourself then?
Oof, it's tight. It's a painful space to be in, but I think I'm learning how to deal with it one by one, if that makes sense. So when an issue is brought up in my relationship, you just deal with it as it comes. But it's a journey.
Now, hey, this is heavy. It's all a journey, and you're 100% right. But now, do you see how that mirrors your irritation?
Yeah.
And that's back to Carl Jung, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
She's
yes.
like,
it's
yes, I don't want to talk about it. Yes.
I'd be so irritated. No, but it's weird. It's like, you want to be irritated. Or you want to be like, oh, you said this. I don't like that. Da, da, da. And I always have all this pushback because, I have a mouth. But the problem with that is I realize I'm just mad at myself. Like, I'm irritated at myself.
Wait, stay with me. Don't move. Don't move, Atala. Stay with me. Don't go nowhere. Listen, Atala is getting deep, probably deeper than I can go. When we come forward, the voice of reason shall continue this most intriguing discussion.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Outrage in Egypt over Netflix's Black Cleopatra. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by Lendistry. The life of Cleopatra VII, Queen of Egypt from 51 to 30 BC, is still captivating even now in 2023. The recent announcement of Netflix's upcoming docuseries, Queen Cleopatra, which casts Black British actress Adele James as its coveted lead, has the Queen's ethnicity as a topic of conversation once again. Narrated by the talented Jada Pinkett Smith, this docuseries will uncover the truth behind Cleopatra's heritage, intellect, and beauty. I know I'll be watching. Will you? Let us know on all of our socials at KBLA 1580. I'm Maisha Cairo, and we've got a lot to talk about.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life and your choices with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age, but there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars, working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage, career-track jobs. The Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing around anti-discrimination, learn about union apprenticeship programs, or sign on to a trade registry, please visit www.lablackworkerscenter.org. That's lablackworkerscenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Truth had me up against the ropes, semi-conscious without no boxing skills. Fear of it makes hair on my neck grow like minoxidil. Watching the clock is ill when faced with the truth, parallels observing amateur videotapes of 21 top-notch in my PD cop skill. Filet mines out the kill, still some never reveal true feelings. Me speaking on the truth right now in itself is a healing. See the creator created existence and balance at right angles less than what's conceived and stated. So whoever shall stray away from right lives wrong. The derivative of the word false, opposite of truth, of course. Sure as my slave name sin then. Troy Donald Jameson paves the path, enabling truth to stay stable and cling to earth. Sorta similar to the way static electricity stings. See, truth brings light refracts off the mirror. Visions of yourself in error could never be clearer. The truth is that you're ugly, not on the outside, but in the inside. On the outside, you front and you lovely. The discovery of these things and all are well hidden. But when you in denial of self, it's forbidden. That's the truth.
We on fire tonight. Tonight's topic, you know what it is, man. That inner relationship with yourself. It sets the tone for all other relationships. That record right there, you already know my playlist is my co-host. That was Pharoah Monch, Talib Kweli, and Common. The name of the record is called The Truth. And I love Pharaoh's verse because he's talking about, you know, you fronting on the outside like you lovely, but on the inside you ugly. And it took me to my book, The Shrouded Lighthouse. On page 71, it says, looking toward the dark light. And just this small passage here lines right up with that verse. It says, your willingness to confront your dark light, your shadow, is related to your ability to resolve it via the act of observing it, which illuminates it. Many of us are afraid to look, but if you're afraid to look at yourself, there's no way you can effectively co-manage relationship challenges or disruptions. When you refuse to observe your dark light objectively, it remains in a position of secrecy, unresolved. In my opinion, looking towards your dark light is 90% of the battle of transforming it. By simply confronting it through the sight of non-judgment, you make the conscious... I'm going to stop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Shrouded Lighthouse. If the listeners of KBLA are interested in getting a copy, you know you guys can go to kbla.store and order a copy of my Shrouded Lighthouse book, How to Discover the Silver Lining in Any Situation Shift. We on fire tonight. We were on the line with Attila. Attila, get back in here.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
You were saying something and you was cooking. I just want you to finish your thought.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think I was talking about when I get upset at said person and I realize that I'm just mad at myself. Yeah. That's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun. And I'll say this as well. You know, you're talking about dark light. Because obviously I brought the Shrouded Lighthouse, guys. Go get it. Hello. And there's just certain things about myself that I realized in reading it that have been rough. For one, I've spoken about people pleasing before. What that looks like is placating people. So if that shows up in your relationship where that's a time for you to hold someone to task or to be honest about something that you're doing and instead you'd rather just smooth sail, placate the situation, that's how that comes out.
So,
it can be deflection. It can be a number of things. Yeah.
So watch this. Because many people will push back and say, but, you know, people are toxic and blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing. You're not responsible for their actions, right? You're only responsible for how you show up. And I love the way the Hulnicks put it, Mary and Ronald Hulnick, in their book, Loyalty to Your Soul, when they said it's not the issue that is your issue, it's how you respond to the issue that is your issue. And oftentimes we respond trying to get somebody to change, but we have to respond to how we show up. I'm guilty. I'm guilty with you, Attila. We together. We guilty. And it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. Once you see it, now it's like, okay, I know you're there. Let me start working on changing and transforming. Does that make sense, Attila?
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. I guess my question is, how do you do this and be in the situation or in the relationship at the same time?
Well, this goes back to the great Krishnamurti, right? And before I even get to Krishnamurti, let me go to Rumi. Rumi is cold too. He says you have to keep breaking your heart until it opens. Do you see? There is a fear of the pain of the broken heart, of the disappointment, of the dissatisfaction, of the frustration. But sometimes you have to go to that. As a matter of fact, the pain of it is actually the key to opening up your heart. Many people think their hearts are open until they love a person so deeply that the transgression can be forgiven. Listen to what I'm saying. You don't love deep enough until you can forgive. If you can throw a person away on an infraction that you claim you love, you never loved them. And I'm not, listen, hear what I'm saying. I'm not talking about abusive people. I'm not talking about, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about people I'm talking about human beings who are more than prone to make mistakes. Do you understand? Like how once you're in the face of something that can break your heart, will it open or will it shut tight forever moving forward? Attila?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's opening slowly but surely as I'm working on myself.
You can say it's cracked. It's cracked.
Yes.
It ain't got to be open. It's cracked. Maybe you need some more pain for it to open a little wider.
Oh, don't tell me that. No. Oh, Lord. No.
But again, this goes back to Krishnamurti. If we are in pursuit of the pleasantries, of the pleasure, of the goodness, just because you're not speaking it by name doesn't mean it's not coming. You're asking for pleasure. So you're definitely asking for pain. They come together.
You just said a whole word, though. You don't even know.
But do you see why it's not working? You're in a transactional society that say, you better take care of me. You better have this. You better have that. And once you get the person that can do all of that, and they've done none of this self-competency stuff, then you start saying, well, what was I asking for? It's almost like asking a genie for something. And you know a genie always got tricks with those wishes.
Mm-hmm. Facts. I don't do the genies. Dang. I mean, that honestly brings so much clarity, because I think in previous relationships, I've always wondered, like, why do things go so well and all of a sudden they just go so terrible? But you just kind of cornered it. You just literally just told me, again, you pleasure, pain. And so I think understanding that's going to help me, I think, navigate some of the maybe rougher waters of situations that are coming in the future with compassion and grace.
Well, you're going to have compassion because you're a human who's dealing with humans.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
I know.
My categories.
But do you understand what I'm saying? I know people are not. Let me do this. Krishnamurti. Where there is pleasure, there is the shadow of pain. I ask people all the time, go get the poem by Khalil Gibran on love. It explains it perfectly. So many of us just want the good things in life. But sometimes some of the most hurtful things in life actually lead us to the doorstep of God. Well, let me say it the way Rumi said it. The wailing of broken hearts is the doorway to God. Rumi.
Wow.
See, we playing that relationship. We're not really doing relationship. We playing. Attila, I love you. Thank you for calling in. You brought Houston, Texas in the building. We appreciate you. Listen, you ain't got to agree. I don't want no yes people. Go investigate. And I'm not talking about just reading a book. Go into your heart and investigate what I said tonight. Woo, ladies and gentlemen, I started the conversation. You finish it. My brother is about to come up in here next. You already know who he is, Danny Morrison. He gonna keep the fire lit. I'll see y'all tomorrow with another heater.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton, and here's the latest on the Black Information Network. President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden will welcome the Louisiana State University women's basketball